Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to study how to take an input from user. So let's start by creating a new file. Make sure it's a SwiftUI view and let's just name it as user input playground. In SwiftUI, we can take input from user in two ways. The first way is by utilizing the text field, and second way is by utilizing the text editor. So text field is normally used for single line text input, and if you want to take multiple line inputs, then the text editor is used. So let's start by creating a vstack in here, and maybe have some padding, and then we can actually start creating text field. So we can create text field with all these initializer, but let's just start with the simple one. It accepts the placeholder value. So let's just say if we want to let user know that this text field is for their name, so we can say that enter your name. And for the binding, we have to provide a state, and we have already worked on state. State is something that keeps a watch on a variable, and whenever that value changes, it just updates the UI. So what binding does is actually a connection between the state and the view that is responsible for the that is responsible for updating itself when that value changes. So that's how you provide a binding to some other view. So now we have a very basic text field displaying in the center of a screen, and yeah, that's how you can do it. So if you want to write something, you can say maybe like username or something, you can type in here. So that's how you create a text field. And we actually have a style that we can use with the text field. So if you start typing the text field style, you will notice we have three different ways. There is a plain text field style. Okay, I guess that's the default that we already seen, and then we have this rounded text field style. So this is how this rounded text field style is. And if you want to style text field by your own design, you can also do this. Let's just have another text field, maybe name it as enter your email, and let's have another binding, and let's provide this binding to this text field, and then we can design our own text field. Let's first give it a padding, and then we can give it a background color. And for the background, let's just use maybe a very light blue color with opacity of 0.1. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, very nice. And we can just maybe use some corner radius, and we can provide the alignment to our vstack, and then we can also use some spacing, maybe 30. So this is how it looks. This is how you can customize text field. We can actually use some foreground color, maybe the green color. I'm not sure how green will look on blue, but you can use your own design colors that you want. So yeah, this is how you can utilize this text field for taking the user input. And let's just say if we want to have some button in here, maybe that says pick me, and once we click on this button, what we can do, we can actually, let's just use the default alignment, which is center. I guess center looks good. Okay, so maybe we can display this text field in somewhere like user input name, something like this, and then we can have a text in here. This is just to explain how we can utilize the value from text field. So let's just say user enter, and then we can have this user input in here. and then once you click on this, then we can update this user input with new value of maybe whatever is in the username. So let's click on this. Oh, we don't have anything, so let's try something like maybe I can write my own name. Let's see. Yeah, it works. So this is how you can take an input. Maybe if you want to build a login screen, you can have two fields for the email and password, and then you can have a button that so that's how you can actually do it. And then for the text editor, let's have text editor in here. This is for multiple line, and this just takes only the binding, and it doesn't have any placeholder, so you have to adjust placeholder yourself. Let's just say it's the description, and we can now use this in here. So yeah, let's just see how it looks. Okay, so this is how this text editor it takes almost all the space that's available to it. So once we have a background on our VStack, we can easily see how it will look. Let's just have a green background with opacity of maybe 0.01, so a very light green color. Not sure if it's visible. Let's have 0.1. Yeah, now it's visible. So you can see this text editor is actually taking all the space available to it, and we can type in here like maybe line 1, line 2. So you can just have all of these you can type in here. So if you want to reduce this height maybe to only some specific value, you can just use a frame in here, and instead of, sorry, not the minimum height, you just provide the exact height to reduce this. So this is how it will look, and let's just use a spacer in here so that our VStack can push its content to the top and utilize all the space available. So this is how it will look, and you can actually change the foreground color for this maybe to red, and now if you type you will have a red color in here. And if you want to change the background color of the text editor, you first have to use this SwiftUI lifecycle method that's on appear. So, and on this appear we have to change or make this UI text show background color. We have to clear first this color, and then only we can use the background. And let's just have maybe a background of yellow. Not sure if this is working. Let's just have maybe background yellow dot opacity 0.5 to reinforce the view. Yeah, so it's what it I guess the previous one was like previously it didn't properly reload the view, so now it's doing it. Now you can see we have this dark yellow color. We can reduce the opacity of course to a minimum value, or only 10% of its value, so it's very light. So this is how you can have a text editor for taking multiple values, and you can have a text field for only taking the single value from user. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one.